Some people walk into a room and take up as little space as possible. Not because they're shy, not because they have nothing to say, but because somewhere along the way, they were taught that being visible wasn't safe. You might recognize this. You speak quietly, you sit near the edges. When someone calls your name in a group, something tightens in your chest. You prefer to listen rather than speak, to observe rather than participate. And when you receive a compliment, your first reaction isn't pleasure, it's discomfort, as if being seen is the beginning of something bad, as if existing too much costs something. This has a root. Most people who learn to disappear weren't born this way. At some point, often in childhood, being visible had consequences. Maybe you were humiliated when you tried to express yourself. Maybe your environment was unpredictable, and staying quiet was the safest way to avoid becoming a target. Maybe the adults around you couldn't handle your emotions well, and you learned to keep them hidden. So you started practicing. You trained your voice to be softer, your body to take up less space, your mind not to want too much, because wanting too much felt dangerous too. And it worked. You survived. This pattern isn't weakness. It was survival intelligence. A child who learns to become invisible in an unpredictable environment is doing exactly what the nervous system is designed to do: adapt to stay safe. The problem is, that system never got uninstalled when the danger passed. You grew up. The environment changed. But the programming stayed. And now you disappear in situations where it's completely safe to exist. In meetings where your perspective matters. In relationships where the other person genuinely wants to know you. In moments where you could simply be. Being seen was never the problem. The problem was what happened when you were seen. At the wrong time, by the wrong eyes. Psychology calls this a collapse response, a learned adaptation that becomes automatic. But what feels more important than naming it is asking, who would you be? If at some point in your life, someone had taught you that existing was safe, that taking up space was allowed, that you didn't have to earn the right to be here, maybe that person is still inside you, waiting for a permission that never came from outside. But that can begin to come from within. If something in this video felt familiar, leave a comment. You don't have to explain much. Sometimes a single sentence, "Me too," is already the beginning of something. Thank you for being here. See you in the next silence.